Hello, tiny humans! Hello, Squeakaroo! Let's dwell in some Christmas cheer with Olive, the Other Reindeer by Vivian Walsh and J. Otto Seibold. Every day, Olive took a long dog walk, winter, spring, summer, or fall. Today, it was a winter's day. It was the holidays. And there was music playing outdoors. People were singing, "All of the other reindeer." Olive was too shy to sing. She hummed. Back at her doghouse, Olive was wrapping presents and listening to the radio. She heard that same song again. "All of the other reindeer," went the song. "Olive, the other reindeer," sang Olive alone. Olive, the reindeer?" said Olive. I thought I was a dog, but I must be a reindeer." It was the time of year when all of the reindeer reported to the North Pole to help Santa Claus. Olive put down her scissors carefully and marched out the door. She took one bus and two buses. She got there just in time. Santa was checking his list for the second time. Elves were busy helping the reindeer and loading the sleigh with presents for the good girls and boys. Everyone was ready to go. Olive took her place. Now Santa noticed that there was a little dog in the lineup. Santa knew a lot about dogs. For instance, they can't fly. But as it was time to go, he decided to give Olive a chance. Comet, the biggest reindeer, used a piece of extra ribbon to make sure Olive was tied in safe and tight. Oh, that's so sweet of Comet. Now they were ready to go. Olive was surprised. It was so easy to fly. Was she flying? The other reindeer were very curious about the new helper. They looked at Olive so much they weren't watching where they were going. Crash! They flew smack into the top of a tall tree. "Oh dear," said Santa. "My sleigh is stuck in this tree. I'll have to cut it free." Olive clung to the side of the tree. She tried to fly up to help Santa, but she could not. So she climbed up slowly and started chewing. Chewing sticks was something Olive could do well. "Thank you, Olive," said Santa Claus as they got back on their way. They had not traveled far when Olive's nose began to twitch. Olive smelled trouble. It was the smell of gumdrop candies as they fell from the sleigh. Drop! 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 Olive barked and Santa knew what to do. What would you have done? Oh, that's good. Here's what Santa did. He steered the reindeer down and around so that the gumdrops fell, plop, 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 back into the toy sack. Very smart. We're very lucky to not lose a single gumdrop, thought Olive. Then she heard a strange sound. It was the music note. Eee! She spun around. And she spun around on her string to see the night sky filled with falling flutes. Olive had to howl louder than the wind instruments, and this was not music to Santa's ears. "First gumdrops, now flutes," thought Santa. "That tree must have torn a hole in my sled." "Prepare for an emergency landing," instructed Santa. The sleigh landed in a snowy field full of flutes. But luckily, Olive was very good at fetching sticks. It's something that dogs love to do. Before Santa finished patching the hole in the sleigh, Olive had to return each and every flute back to the sack. "Ho, ho, ho," said Santa. "We're ready to go." They were running late. There was a lot to stop for, my goodness. But after a while, all of the good children received their presents and Santa and his team headed home. They were almost home when they got caught in the dreaded North Pole fog. Oh, The reindeer slowed down until only the breeze moved them along. The fog was thick as a pillow. They couldn't see. And everyone felt sleepy. Then Santa remembered something about dogs. They were expert smellers. "Olive, I don't want to be late for breakfast this year," he said. "Mrs. Claus had planned a parade of cookies. You can almost smell them, can't you?" Olive could smell the cookies. "Olive, won't you guide my sleigh this morning?" asked Santa Claus. So Olive moved, to the front of the reindeer. Thanks to Olive's nose and Mrs. Claus's baking, they made it all the way back to the North Pole. All of the elves sang out a cheer. "Hooray, hooray! Santa and the reindeer and the little doggy are back!" Back at the North Pole, it was a glorious morning. After eating lots of good food, it was time to open presents. The reindeer got jump ropes. The elves got choo-choo toy trains. And then Santa reached into his toy sack. There was one present left, and it was for Olive. It was her very own set of reindeer antlers. They fit perfectly. Then everyone went outside to play reindeer games. The end. Thank you so much for joining me and Olive, the other reindeer. I'll see you next Tuesday for Storytime Tuesday. Bye.